Hey guys, it's Andrea. So today we're doing another foodle. You can see this one. I think I really nailed the motion I wanted in the picture, what I had in mind in my head. But actually, it's a cute little grilled cheese girl, and I don't know, the story behind this one's kind of silly. I felt like in my mind when I was doing it, I don't really draw young characters at all. So I wanted to try that out for sure. And I think I'm going to try that going forward. Maybe some more kids, or I think some artists that can be really hard to break out of that mold of just drawing like pretty girls. And I think since I'm just starting out, I'm trying to kind of beat that to the punch and not fall into that routine right from the beginning of seriously working on my art. And I know that she's still a pretty girl, of course, yeah, but I don't know. I think in my mind she's a little closer to like high school age, or middle school maybe even. But I kind of designed her outfit, which I guess maybe I should talk about when we're doing the outfit. More how girls dressed for like sports games when I was in high school. I just thought that'd be a kind of fun thing to do. I'm trying to really break outside of my comfort zone with outfits as well, and always do something a little bit different. I loved the idea of her having like these big box braids into little pigtails. I just thought that sounded so cute with a bandana, and it'd be such a fun way to add some extra detail to the picture. I have to say, I feel like this is honestly one of my favorite drawings I've ever done. And I think it's just because I really made sure to, take the time to plan it out. And actually, on the page before this one, I spent a lot of time planning out like her face and her details, but also just on drawing like hands and feet. And I really got loosened up before I started on this sketch at all, even. And I think that led to some better results. I'm sure nobody needs this advice, but I guess I didn't realize that that was part of the drawing process. I always thought you kind of just, sat down and you have this perfectly clear image in your head of what it is that you want to put on paper, and then you just put it on the paper, and it's that easy, and either you're good at it or you're not. And in doing this, in doing more drawings, different drawings, things like that, I really am kind of learning that, like, well, that's not how the process goes at all. You draw, 45 little sketches of exactly how you want the hand to be shaped, and only one of them's good enough, and then you have to try to copy that onto your actual drawing, and it's so tough. I think I really am going to have to give digital art a try eventually, because I think that's one of the areas where I would do better because of that, really, maybe. I don't know. But I gave her a little, like, she's blowing a kiss. I don't know. Again, part of the story of this illustration, I guess, when I was starting it out, I thought maybe, like, she's going to a football game and she sees the boy that she likes or something. So she's like, she's too shy to actually talk to him, but she blows him a little kiss. And I gave her a big chunky bracelet. I kind of wanted to stick with some sporty details. And even though I'm definitely not a sporty person, I also really wanted the hands to be kind of like exaggerated with a lot of movement. I think I've talked before about trying to find my style specifically, and I feel like this is, again, the closest drawing that I've had come to that. Just because I got the cutesy face, and oh my gosh, that was my baby burping. Hi Maxo. I got the cutesy face and the big dynamic movement, and then I also got a lot of smaller details too in. I made this shirt is, I don't know if anybody even still does this or if it stopped being cool years ago, but when I was in high school, girls they'd take their shirts and cut up the sides and then tie the sides together, and I don't know, it just kind of made it a different style of shirt than it started out entirely. And that was one that people wore to a lot of casual things that, like sports events, stuff like that. And I hadn't seen one for a while, and I thought it'd be a kind of fun style to do here. And then I was really stuck on, I think with the shoes, I kept going back and forth between, do I want it to be like chucks or like boots, or chucks or boots? So I kind of ended up making them in the middle. They look like maybe like Doc Martens, but then I end up coloring them in chuck style. So I don't even know what's going on with that, but they're cute. Who cares? And I think for the shoelaces, I maybe could have taken some more time and made those have more realistic movement. This is the main part I was super into when I had the idea, and it was kind of what the rest of the drawing is sprung up off of. And it's these fun, like, cuts in her, I don't know if they're jeans or leggings, but whatever those pants are, she's got a lot of cuts in the front, and that was kind of where it tied into the grilled cheese, because it's like the stretchy, stringy grilled cheese. And I thought that was a fun way to, I don't know, I think that this is maybe more of a on theme foodle, because I really did try to bring some elements of the food item into it, but at the same time it's a lot more abstract too, because they could just be jeans with holes. And I ended up doing for the top, it's a fun kind of like leopard print. So it took about 1,000,000 years to put in all these tiny little leopard spot details and make sure that they all matched the direction that her shirt was bending. Or is bending the right word? I'm not really sure. Maybe like folding. But anyway, I really kind of went ham on these and just put a ton of leopard spots all over it. I think in my first idea for it, it was more like a light brown dots fading up into the shirt, so it looked like the toasty part of the grilled cheese. But everything else with this girl was just so bold and bright, and I really wanted to keep moving on with that. And she's such a dynamic character, dynamic pose, that I decided let's just make her look super crazy and fun. So I gave her that leopard print shirt, and then I started coloring with the color palette here. When I did all the sketch, I didn't really have an idea in mind for what I was going to do for the colored palette, and I thought, I want something that's like, toasty golden brown, just like the grilled cheese, and a lot of yellow, but I need some other color to really bring it together. And, what on earth could that be? What's a color that goes with like brown and yellow? And I ended up deciding to do a lot of like purple, but specifically pastel purple, because I still wanted it to be not the focus of the drawing, but a nice pop of color in there. And then I forgot to shade the back of her hair, so I had to go in and do that here. You guys should leave in the comments, like, do you like more foodles? Do you want to see other things? I filmed a couple videos that I couldn't get uploaded, didn't film right, so I'm kind of going to go back to those ideas. But one was actually a commission, and it was a Rick and Morty drawing. And oh, that's a big airplane. I don't know if you guys can hear the airplanes or not. But anyway, it was a Rick and Morty drawing, and I wasn't really directed on like, it has to have this, or I want it to look like this. So I ended up just making a tarot card, Rick and Morty. And it's really funny because they're fighting, of course. You can see it on my Instagram actually, but I can never take pictures that actually show the colors of my work really well. But anyway, I thought it'd be fun to do like tarot card themed drawings for a while. And another one that I started on that I definitely am gonna stick with. I don't know if anyone's interested in it but me, but it was a fun idea. And I think a lot of the thing about drawing prompts is, as long as you're having fun with it, And as long as it keeps you drawing, then it's good. It's a good prompt idea. Go ahead and stick with it for a while until it's not inspiring to you anymore. So, what I was working with when I started doing is like the ABCs of podcasting. And I know that sounds silly, but I really do listen to like a lot of podcasts. Oh my goodness, that's most of what I do. I just don't really watch a lot of TV. I used to, I guess, but I'm too busy all the time now, and podcasts are something I can do while I'm, doing chores, things like that. So I did the first one, the letter A, and it was the guys from the Adventure Zone, which is a super funny D&D podcast that I've gotten really into. My sister-in-law actually got me like, I don't want to say I'm obsessed with it, but oh man, it's been like the only thing I've listened to for a couple weeks now. It's crazy, but they're just so funny and they make such a great story. And it's three brothers, the McElroy brothers, playing D&D with their dad. So they all know each other really well and can build off of each other's story ideas really well. And yeah, I ended up drawing the four of them. It was just going to be the three of them originally, but then I remembered, like, oh yeah, Griffin's the DM. I don't want to leave Griffin out. So I kind of added him in a fun way. That one's on my Instagram too if you want to check it out. And then I started yesterday sketching my idea for B. I'm really excited about it because I was going to do Bowser and Jess from Bizarre States. That one is a Nerdist podcast. And you guys know the Nerdist Network, I'm sure. And it's really fun and funny because they kind of focus on like what weird or creepy news there is, and then they'll talk about one overarching, weird or creepy thing. Some stuff that they've talked about in the past, I guess they followed. I don't know if anyone heard about this really too much in the States. It wasn't something I saw or read about frequently other than through this podcast. But this author, he was kind of an author, this reclusive inventor. Oh, my pencil busted. I forgot about this part. But anyway, this reclusive author, he had a woman come out to. Maybe I should back up. Nah, never mind. I'm like editing while I'm recording. I always do it that way. I don't know. I think it's quicker. Anyway, he invited this woman to investigate and check out, because she was a journalist, his latest submarine. He like built this submarine in his backyard, and it was a fully functional, for real submarine, which is nuts. That's amazing. What a brilliant, crazy mind this guy has, right? But he invited this journalist out to, check out his submarine, write a piece about it, and he ended up, I think, murdered her. It's crazy. I don't want to ruin the details, but basically her body was found, in pieces. I don't know if this is too dark for this drawing, but it was a fascinating story. He's on trial for it now. He may have even been found guilty at this point. And this podcast, Bizarre States, they covered it. They also cover more fun, lighthearted things too, though. They have a segment called Bowser's Backyard, and it's just about all the fun animals that are hanging out in one of the host backyards all the time. And I really love them. They're a good team, and they do a lot of other things for the Nerdist Network as well, or even just their own projects. You guys should look up Bowser Vids or Bowser Videos. I think it's Vids though, on YouTube. He's so funny. He has this character named Onyx that is like a super excitable. There's another airplane. Oh my goodness. A super excitable goth, but he also he's really nervous and he's super weird, and it's just such a funny character. I think that's how I first ended up watching Bowser, but so I was going to do them, and I thought it'd be a really good opportunity, just since they kind of have a darker show, to do some work with my grayscale Tombow set. So I think I'm going to try to get that one finished up today. and hopefully that'll be my next video. So I'm kind of hoping that, for those of you who are into podcasts, this will be kind of a fun, wow, I haven't really, been able to come across this before on YouTube, some podcast themed art. Not, I don't want to say tutorials, but, draw with me's. And for people who aren't into podcasts, maybe the art's like unique enough styled that you'll still think it's neat. Oh, I am super excited to share. I just got this great beginner travel watercolor set. So I was kind of messing around with it today, or yesterday rather. Not really with the end goal of creating a piece of art, but just to kind of get used to, how the water pen works and what things I need to be mixing together to make certain kinds of colors and all of that. Oh my gosh, filling in this background takes forever. This is exactly why I wanted to get watercolors. I think I'm going to revisit too a couple of my drawings, like this one specifically, just because in getting the watercolors and practicing around with them, I thought like, yeah, this is exactly what I've been thinking of. I want something that I can get like a much better wash behind my drawings with, and I'd really like to have some of the colors be more fluid, more punchy. I think the problem with with colored pencils specifically is you get that sketchy texture, and I don't know about you guys, I don't always want that necessarily. I think it can be a nice element in some things. I think also though, even though these are nicer colored pencils, I'm not really sure which brand they are. I keep saying I'll put that in the comments, but I haven't ever. Even though these are nicer colored pencils, they're still colored pencils, and you're going to get all that texture. So I think though, if I remember right, these are like the Prismacolor Scholar pencils, and I do really like them. I think, and maybe I should do like a comparison side by side, and it may also sound like total sacrilege for any like real artists out there, but other than when blending colors, between these and my Crayola pencils, I don't really see too much of a difference. There was a really great video I watched a while back that was somebody who actually had been an art teacher, and they were comparing side by side a lot of different pencil varieties, and I think this was one, the Prismacolor Scholar versus student or artist, or I'm not sure what the other variety was, but comparing them side by side, he was explaining how they're not really too much different. But anyway, this is our finished drawing. This is our cute little grilled cheese girl. And I kind of went over the fun backstory I had for her, but I don't know. Do you guys enjoy hearing that? I think sometimes when I'm thinking in the mindset of I want to make a character, an animated, fluid movement, exhilarating character, then my next thought is like, well, why would they be doing that though? Why is she jumping in this fun pose, and why is she dressed the way she's dressed? And the story that I didn't write always just starts to kind of build itself. So I think that this one though definitely is one of my favorite drawings I've ever done, and I learned a lot doing it. I'm really excited to kind of take all these ideas and move forward with them and look forward to better, I don't want to say better changes in my art, but I don't know, just more well-rounded ideas, I guess, because I did spend a lot of time in the planning and practice of this one first. So since then, I've been really trying to do that with my other pieces as well. But well, you guys, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. I really liked getting to share this one with you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.